Gracious enough to put your hands together to welcome Dr. Yeo.
Thanks, Mr. Wan, for the wonderful introduction, and thanks, Sifu, for the opportunity. A very good evening to all of you. Sawadee-ka and konbanwa. Dozo onegai shimasu. I'm very glad to have this opportunity to share with you this latest concept about mind. Okay? In this brief 30 minutes, I will cover most of the common diseases ranging from the headache, neck pain, shoulder ache, back pain, from head to toes. Alright? Okay? If time permits, I will also touch on why people get autism. Alright? Okay. Okay, what is disease? What is disease, sickness, or illness? Okay, great. Master Connie. Yeah. Disease is actually formed by the word dis-ease. Dis is no, ease is comfortable. That means we get disease when we are not at ease with the situation we are in, or we are not comfortable interacting with people whom we are interacting with daily. So treatment of any disease is to find out what makes this person not at ease, bring to the awareness of this person that he or she need to make some changes in their life to make themselves at ease. And treatment is not the same as healing. Treatment is what the doctor or the healer gives to the patient. But patient has your own healing mechanism. When you are at ease, your symptom will get better and the need for the medication will be less. Alright? Okay, with this introduction, I will start with what happens when we are not at ease. When we are not at ease, we start to become angry or worried. And this anger is actually, you are living in the past. Something happened, but you cannot let go. You cannot forgive and cannot move on. Worry or anxiety means you are living in the future. Something has not happened, but you keep on worried that it will happen. Alright? We can neither live in the past or live in the future. We can only live now. So if you worry about disease, so right now you must make sure you have enough sleep. Sleep early and then healthy lifestyle, at the same time free of toxic emotions like anger and anxiety. In fact, most of the diseases are due to anger or anxiety. Alright? So I give you examples. Sometimes we ask the children to study, they say they are sleepy. If you give them iPad, iPhone, are they sleepy? No. So this is the example that your mind can control your physical state. So headache, what happened? Headache happens when a person is in conflict, in dilemma, cannot make decisions. And this conflict is actually conflict between the conscious mind and subconscious mind. For example, a person thinks in the conscious mind, I have to work to earn a living to support my family. Now is economic crisis, it is difficult to find a new job. But subconscious mind thinks, I don't like the job, I don't like the boss, I don't like the colleague, I don't like the supervisor. They are very calculative. So when you have this conflict in between your conscious mind and subconscious mind, you start to have headache. Alright? Another thing is, you often call the leader head of department. So when you have different opinion with the head, you can also have headache. For instance, for a lady, someone senior to you is actually your husband or your boss if you are working, or your parents or your elder brother or elder sister. For a kid, it's their parents or their teacher or their elder sister or elder brother. If they have different opinion with someone senior to them, they can also have headache. Alright? Okay, now we come to the eye problems. So, if what we see in reality makes us very angry and we cannot accept, our eyes start to become red. We start to have conjunctivitis, iritis, or even glaucoma. Pressure in the eye become high. Okay? If we think that the reality that we see, the future is very bleak, we cannot accept. There are certain things that we wish we don't see. The reality is too painful. Then our vision start to drop. We start to have blurring of vision, cataract. Alright. So during midlife, how fast we need to remove our spec to see depends on whether we are at ease or not. The more uneasy we are, the faster we develop this presbyopia. Now we come to hearing loss or ringing in the ear. This is very common among men, especially elderly. And what is the reason? Yes. In reality, they find that people always nag them, always criticize them, always say they are not good enough. Then automatically they will turn a deaf ear. And how do you test that? Is you praise them. No matter how soft you say it, they can hear it. Okay? And in general, which side got reduced hearing also will tell you what is their stress. If the person is right-handed, anything left side, that means left side headache, left side blurring of vision, left side shoulder ache, left side fracture, left side breast lump, anything left side, the stress comes from work, children, parents, siblings, neighbor, or friends. Okay? Anything right side is spouse. If the person is not married, it is girlfriend or boyfriend. That's why you always call your partner your next half. Because the real representation, the real importance in your brain, in your mind is really half. I will give you examples. First you hear with a skeptical mind, I will give you evidence. Alright? Okay? Okay, now we come to oral cavity. Let's say you have ulcer, sore throat, snoring. All these are usually related to communication problem. So in real life, let's say we are angry, and then maybe we start to raise our voice, because whenever you are angry, these are negative emotions. So emotion is formed by the word E plus motion. This E stands for energy, energy emotion. The moment the person is angry, you look at their face, red, as red like a lobster, correct? BB shoots out, breathing becomes faster and louder. So let's say we are angry, this energy is formed, and sometimes 10% of the energy is out when we raise our voice. But if another person also raises a voice, you have to shut up, because if you don't shut up, maybe you will fight. So 90% of this energy you actually swallow back. So it will injure your throat, causing ulcer, sore throat. Alright? Makes sense, right? So you start to observe yourself. You usually, before you start to have this sore throat or flu, you have some emotional distress first. Okay, now we come to facial asymmetry, like following stroke, patient can have facial asymmetry, or following Bell's palsy, they can also have facial asymmetry. Face, we usually say loose face. So prior to this event, if let's say the patient experience some life event that make them feel that their ego is jeopardized, they cannot accept, then they start to have this Bell's palsy or stroke. And which side also will tell you their stress comes from where. Right? Now we come to neck problem. Okay? A lot of manager, supervisor, they got neck pain. Matron, sister, they got neck pain. Those housewives also, you are house manager, so you can also have neck pain. Okay? Why is this so? It's pressure from the top, superior, your subordinate didn't cooperate, your children didn't cooperate, so all the trapped energy will be deposited in your neck. And what is the function of neck? Is to bend. So in real life, if you find it very upset that people always try to bend your personality, bend your ego, bend your principles, you are being forced to surrender, to give in, then this negative energy, the anger, the upset, the energy produced due to the upset will be deposited in your neck. So whenever you have neck pain or neck stiffness, usually doctor will order X-ray and then MRI of the neck to see whether got spondylosis or any nerve impingement. And then after that, it will subject you for traction or even the surgery. That can temporarily help, because when they do the traction, part of the trapped energy will be released. But every day you form the new energy because you are upset again. So how do you prevent neck pain?
Like exercise.
Change the ball.
Okay, now I will introduce to you a new concept called there is a difference between give in and give love. When you feel that you are giving in, you feel like a loser. So all this upset, now inside you have this built up tension. So this energy will be formed and then you will deposit there in the night. But if you tell yourself, I'm giving love, I choose to give love, I choose to bend my principle willingly. When you bend your principle willingly, there won't be any upset. So there won't be any energy deposited in your mind. So you can have total cure. Right? Okay, now we come to shoulder ache. We always say responsibility on your shoulder. Correct? So when you don't quite enjoy the responsibility on your shoulder, you start to have shoulder ache. So now I'm going to give you the evidence about left side and right side. We often see that those who have to take care of sick parents or children who have special needs like autism, Down syndrome, hyperactivity, they have left shoulder ache. Those who have to take care of spouse who are sick, they have right shoulder ache. If you are right-handed. Okay. Alright? Okay, now I give you an overall, all accident, fall, fracture, all types of bleeding, all types of inflammation ranging from conjunctivitis, arthritis, tonsillitis, appendicitis, all the term end up with itis is inflammation. Anything that causes red, swollen, angry looking is due to anger. All stroke, heart attack is also due to anger. All chronic pain is also due to anger. Okay, I start by explaining the emotion first. So, what makes us angry? So far so good, you are interested? Okay, so what makes us, we get angry when what we want we don't get. Or somebody says something or do something that hurts us. We also get angry when we lost something, loss of pride, loss of dignity, loss of money, loss of loved one. So like MH370, most of the relatives, they are very angry because suddenly they lost their loved one. And recent money game, a lot of people also very angry. Initially they angry of those who cheated them. Then after that they angry at themselves. Why am I so stupid? Why am I so greedy? So anger happens when our needs not met, or somebody says something or do something that hurts us, or we lost something. Alright? So when we have this anger, how we react to this anger depends on our personality. Some people when they are angry, they have this anger out mechanism. They shout at people, they criticize, they slap somebody, they bang the door, they kick the door. When they do this, all this energy will be released. Okay? We all learn that energy cannot be destroyed. They only change form. The wind energy, they move the windmill, generate electricity, light, heat. So this energy, let's say I'm angry, my face becomes red already because there is this added energy. So if I use the wrong way to channel my anger, I slap somebody or I kick the dog, my energy is displaced somewhere. My anger will reduce very fast. But this energy caused my hand to be red and swollen, that person's face red and swollen, correct? And there's a sound. Now this energy go inside the person's body. If he cries or she cries, the energy come out, eyes become red and swollen, tears come out. But most of the time, due to our ego, we never cry. So this energy is formed and trapped in our body. If it is trapped in the head, headache. If it's trapped in the neck, neck pain. If it's trapped on the shoulder, shoulder pain. If it's trapped on the back, back pain. So all this chronic pain is actually due to trapped energy related to the upset and anger. Okay? So now we come to this. Just now I mentioned about heart attack and stroke. Okay? In fact, what we experience in our body is closely related to what we face in life. And there is an analog, that means similar. So in heart attack and ischemic stroke, it is a vessel block. So what is the analog in life? The analog in life is if the person feels that the route that he or she is traveling in life got a lot of roadblocks, a lot of obstacles, a lot of hurdles, and then the person is very upset and don't know how to overcome, the person can get heart attack or stroke. That's why sometimes you see businessmen, suddenly the share market crash, or they experience business failure, or they experience some relationship problem, relationship failure, or they lost someone, loss of loved one, they can develop heart attack or stroke, or even atrial fibrillation, arrhythmias. Okay, now we come to gastritis. So gastritis is also, the word is also end up with itis, so it's actually anger as well. So now everything is all related to the function of the organ. What is the function of stomach? Digestion. So what is the analog in life?
Food.
Okay, something happened that we cannot accept. Then we can get gastric. So gastritis happens when we are angry of not being able to control somebody's behavior or control the situation. Something unexpected happens, then we can have gastric. Like sometimes acute gastric erosion during intense stress. Like you are very rushed to prepare presentation and then something new roll for you. Then rush of time, all that, then you can get acute gastric erosion as well. Okay, now we come to hand. Hand refers to now. So when we are not comfortable with the current situation, we can start to have hand symptoms. So just now, anger causes fracture, bleeding, ulcer, inflammation, swollen, redness, swollen, or any obstruction, or even perforation like appendix rupture. Anxiety, they cause different things. They cause giddiness, spinning, vertigo, numbness, tremor like Parkinson, unsteady gait. When you don't feel secure, you start to have this. When you don't feel secure, it's actually you are in fear or you are in anxiety. So you can have this symptom: giddiness, spinning, tremor, numbness of hand or leg. So hand symptom, if you are worried about current situation, you can have hand numbness. If you are very angry about the current situation, you can have hand pain or swollen ulcer, redness, or even fracture. And which side will tell you the stress comes from where? Alright? So it's very interesting. So I give you a real example. I have 4 children. All the 4 after delivery also I breastfed them, and then only after the first delivery I start to have carpal tunnel syndrome. And those who breastfeed before, you know, every 2 hours you need to wake up because the breast milk is not as thick as the formula milk. So that time I wasn't, numbness means what? Worry. So that time hand means current situation. So that time I wasn't at ease. I keep on worrying, who is going to help me? I'm going to work. I'm going to start working. Okay, so I start to have that symptom. But why in my 2nd, 3rd, 4th delivery, I also breastfeed them. I don't have the symptom anymore. Why? Yeah, because I'm already at ease, I'm already experienced. I know after delivery, if people SMS you, my type is only SMS, no WhatsApp yet. People SMS you, you don't have to answer. If people visit you, you are very tired, you don't have to wake up. And you just need to make sure you have adequate sleep. When you are at ease, then everything will be okay. And I also learned, you know, during the first pregnancy, first delivery, you expect your husband to help you, but you won't get it. Second delivery, I already learned, okay? Lower your expectation, then you won't be upset. Because usually upset is due to expectation not met. Okay? So now I come to leg, okay? Our leg carry us forward in life. So any leg problem indicate a fear or a reluctance to move forward in a certain direction. And head is now, leg means future. Okay? Head is someone senior to you, right? Leg means someone junior to you. So it can be your subordinate or your children. That's why you call your subordinate kaki tangan. You know, language, they are so superb. They carry certain meaning like disease, emotions. Okay. So I give you the real example. There was this doctor, he is the head of department, he came to me with leg numbness. So I checked his nerve, I did a nerve connection study for him, I checked diabetes because diabetes can affect the nerve as well. Everything was okay. And numbness means worry, right? So I asked him, lately do you have anything that you are worried? Then he said, I'm already 52 years old. I just got a transfer letter to be the head in KL. So now you can correlate. He's not sure whether to move forward or not. If he turned down the offer, he worried about his future. If he accept the offer, he worried about his children. Whether he just go and then leave the children behind in Penang. So you see, whenever you have any symptoms, it is actually your body trying to communicate with you. Look, I'm not okay. Please make changes. Right? Don't ignore your body when they give you some symptoms. Because, maybe the first one. So if you start to have, everything is a spectrum of disease, okay? So if you start to have stress, you may start to have headache or some non-specific symptoms. But if the stress perpetuates, your headache become more and more severe, more and more frequent. And then when we do the scan, sometimes the initial phase is normal. After that, we check non-specific changes. But if you didn't control, you didn't have coping mechanism fail, you will get stroke or even MS, all that. So it's very important, whenever you have any symptoms, you start to analyze yourself. What aspect of life that you are not comfortable, and it is time to make changes. A lot of people, when sometimes, because in my clinic I see a lot of headache. So sometimes we identify the stress is actually work, then we usually advise them maybe it is time for you to make some changes in your life. They said, no, I have worked in this place, in this company for 30 years. And at my age, it's difficult to find a new job. But if you think like that, you have trapped yourself in an invisible jail. And this jail is in your mind. You tell yourself that you're not comfortable, yet you cannot come out. Isn't it a jail? This is an invisible jail in your mind. The moment you say like that, you put yourself at risk of all the disease. Because your own body, they got defense mechanism. When you fall sick, you get MC. You don't have to face the stress. So in general, we always advise, you must make some changes. 30 years ago, you are still at ease. But right now, you're not at ease. So you must change. You cannot say, I cannot change. You cannot change. Then disease, because you are not at ease, yet you refuse to change. Alright? Okay, now I give you another example. There was this young man, he was 24 years old, right-handed single. He was brought in by a friend in a reclining wheelchair. He was completely paralyzed from neck down. So when I examined him, his right side weaker than the other side. All are weak, but right side is particularly weaker. So right side means what? Spouse, but he's single?
Girlfriend.
So girlfriend issues.
Girlfriend.
Accident means what? Accident is anger. All accident fall is due to anger. So I asked him, before the accident, is there anything that you are very upset? You know what he answered me? Yeah, you see, the day of the accident is the day that the girlfriend is going to marry someone else. So he's not willing to move forward. Okay? And why is he still alive? He's still alive because of love. From the friend, the male friend is a man, okay, who supported him. So sometimes we live not for ourselves, we live for those who love us as well as those whom we love, like our children, all that. So no matter what, the best medicine in this world is always love. And love the word got all the energy. The most powerful weapon in this world is love. Okay? The second most important medicine in this world is sun. So yoga, sun yoga. Sun and earth. It is very important for you to touch the ground, to get in touch with the nature. We call it ecotherapy or naturopathy. Okay. Now I share with you about back pain. We still have time, right? Okay. So bone is actually in our body, bone provides inner support. Okay, so when we don't feel supported, we can have bone problems, either in the form of bone pain or osteoporosis. So for the neck is the support of ego. Center is the love. Low back is the financial support. So sometimes you see some elderly, they have this low back pain, especially like towards the retirement age, they start to have low back pain, or after they retire, they have low back pain. And why is this so? No money, and then you are too shy to ask from your children. Okay? So I give you an example. If the person don't like the job because they don't like the boss, they will have headache. If the person don't like the job because he or she always feel that people always ban their principle, then they will have neck pain. If the person don't like the job because one person need to do two person's job, they will have shoulder ache, because the responsibility on your shoulder. If the person don't like the job but got children to enter university to support, got children to support, got car loan to pay back, got the house loan to pay back, then all the upset will be deposited in the low back, because low back is actually the financial support. Okay, so a lot of elderly, sometimes they fall and then they fracture their leg. It's also related to anger. Before they fall, they are angry of not getting the support that they want. And most of them, they will fracture their leg. So you see which leg they fracture. If they are right-handed, if they fracture left leg, son. If they fracture right leg, is daughter. Okay, you may hear with a skeptical mind, but this is like that. If you feel that your symptoms is left side and then your stress is actually spouse, there are only two possibilities.
Get rid of the spouse.
That's a trigger. No, legit. I will share
Very serious
with you. So if you feel that your symptom is actually left side but your stress is spouse, there are only two possibilities. One is you are originally left-handed, but since more you are being forced to change to become right-handed. So how do you know that whether you are originally right-handed or not? If you are right-handed, your hair move is clockwise. So what about those with double? Those with double, we usually say they are smarter. They are smarter because they can integrate both brain. So left-hander usually is anti-clockwise. Left-hander usually anti-clockwise. Okay. So how do you know? Is you wear your pants, which leg go in first? If you are right-hander, the right leg go in first. That one is the clue lah. Okay, now I share with you joint pain and diabetes. Okay, so what is joint? Joint is a connection between two bones. So what is the analog in life? It is an interpersonal relationship. So sometimes I see the auntie come in, I see their joint deformed, they've got rheumatoid arthritis or gouty arthritis. Usually rheumatoid, I will ask them, auntie, are you very clean person? 100% correct. Most of them are perfectionists, so they want things in the way they want. Their standard is like that. So surrounding people may not be able to meet their standard. So the upset will be, the energy will be deposited in the hand, the joint, because that is an interpersonal relationship. Okay, sometimes knee as well with the junior. The relationship with the junior. So sometimes you see auntie got knee, OA, all that. It's actually because of strained relationship with the children. So the more strained, the faster they get this OA. Okay, now I share with you about diabetes. Okay, why people get diabetes. So in medical terms, diabetes means there is excess of sugar in the body, but your cell and tissue cannot use the sugar. All come out in the urine and they drag a lot of urine, causing polyuria, and then you become thirsty very fast and hungry very fast because your cell tissue cannot use the glucose, so you feel tired as well. So what is an analog in life? Because what you experience in the body is closely related to what you experience in life. So in life, if someone is frustrated of not being able to experience the sweetness of the harmonious relationship, always got different opinion, this frustration can lead to diabetes. So what about those workaholic? Those workaholic, to them, relationship is not important. Relationship is very important for female, no? Correct? To us, to feel love is so important, but to a workaholic, their career is the most important thing. So they will not get diabetes, but the moment they retire, they can get the diabetes because usually those workaholic, they are CEO, so always in control. But suddenly after you retire, nobody for you to control. So you want to control the spouse, control the children. But since now, you have never spent time with them, so there is not much bonding. So the children will not follow what you say. So you become very frustrated and you can become depressed. So in general, we always advise those workaholic CEO, you cannot retire. After you retire, you must do all those charitable work. You must continue to become whatever important person in the NGOs to keep yourself occupied, or else you will feel frustrated and you will go into depression and even diabetes.
Sifu cannot retire.
Sifu is different. Sifu is the personality is different. Grandmaster is different. His personality, he prefer, because in general, master will get overwhelmed and feel not at ease when he is overwhelmed. He has accepted the responsibility more than the inner self can accept, right? Because we only have 24 hours a day. Yeah? Everybody got equally 24 hours a day. Alright. Is there anything you want to ask? If no, now I will share with you autism. Are you interested? Yes. Okay. Autism happen, in fact, all the congenital heart disease, congenital blindness happen when during pregnancy, the mother experiences a lot of stress. So like heart septal defect, all those got hole in the heart, the baby was born with a hole in the heart. Usually the mother during pregnancy, they experience some heartbroken event. And this emotion will be transferred to the baby, especially during the organogenesis, during the period that when your heart is developed, when the baby's heart is developed. So I have seen a lot of VSD. It's true. The mother admitted that during pregnancy they experienced some life event. For congenital blindness, also I have seen already grown up, but the person who brought is the adopted parents. So I asked whether during pregnancy the mother experienced anything that they see, the reality that they see is too painful for them. They want to shut down. Then the child will develop congenital blindness. So the person who adopted this child happened to be just the sister of the patient. So the sister admitted, yes, the biological mother actually experienced something that during pregnancy, there is the reality that she sees is too painful. Like sometimes husband having affair or that during pregnancy, then they cannot accept, and that emotion can affect the baby. So for autism, the children with autism, they are sparked in certain ways, but they don't like to interact with people. So during pregnancy, the mother is very stressed out, and the mother don't feel like communicating with people. The mother like shut down, don't want to interact with people. Sometimes, sometimes certain mother they have some problem with the in-laws, and then the husband not supportive. Then they will feel very upset, they feel helpless, and then they lock out themselves. And then it will affect the son. Son is most commonly affected because in general opposite sex attract, correct? So father usually closer to the daughter, son closer to the mother. So same thing, the mother's emotion will affect the son more. So the son can be autistic. So how do you overcome when, let's say you got relative or someone with autistic child, they will experience left shoulder ache, because suddenly they have to take care of child with special needs. And then this autistic child, sometimes they can have epilepsy or they can have behavioral issues. So how do you overcome? It's always we teach the mother, you hug the child from behind. Because what the child wants is the hug, it's a contact, human contact. During pregnancy, they don't have this contact. Emotionally, the mother as well as the child feel detached. already?
Generally, it's only the mother that hugs, or you would advise the parents to hug, or only the mother to hug?
Okay, we also advise the parents to hug. Okay. Bone is the inner support. So skin is the external support. So when we don't get the external support, we can have skin issues, either itchiness or eczema. Eczema starts with the itchiness or the inflammation. So it's anger of not getting the support that you want. So which region will tell you the stress comes from where? So neck will be the support of ego. Okay, now I share with you thyroid because I remember thyroid is very common. A lot of female, they got thyroid issues, swelling, the thyroid gland. So thyroid is actually, when a person is in a fight, flight, fright state, then they will get this thyroid. Fight means what? Fight in the heart. You want to answer back, you didn't answer back. You control, you swallow the energy. Flight means you always rush. Time, no time. Always rush. Always fly with time, you want to flee, okay? Fright means you worry. So when you are constantly under fight, flight, fright, your thyroid gland will start to become enlarged. Initially, it's just enlarged. Your thyroid hormone can still be normal, but with time, it will progress, and then you start to have thyrotoxicosis. So you start to have heat intolerance, and then you get irritable easily. You want things to be done fast, immediate, step, urgent. So that is the early clue for that. So it's important to screen for thyroid.
What about cysts in the breasts?
Okay. Yes, you come to the... Okay. So breast, I will share with you, breast means left breast, the stress usually related to stress of those blood-related females. So it can be mother, sister, daughter. Okay? So if left breast cyst or left breast CA, CA is a bit different because CA means long-term resentment and anger towards somebody. And I will explain to you why is it like that. Sleep is very important. If you hate somebody, you don't have peace of mind. So at night you cannot sleep well. The moment you cannot sleep well, your body cannot repair itself because during sleep, your body repair itself. Especially during deep sleep, the growth hormone will be released and your immune system start to function. And every day, your cells will divide. That's why your hair start to grow longer, your nails grow longer. So during this cell division, sometimes one abnormal cell will be formed. So this abnormal cell escape the normal immune system if you didn't sleep well. So one abnormal cell will continue to divide and become tumor. So, as I said, what you experience in your body is closely related to what you experience in life. In general, all the tumors, it just means that you don't like someone close to you, related to you. It's related to you. Because your own body produce something in your body that you hated that grow. You alienated that grow. Disharmony is actually basically disharmony. So right breast CA, usually the person suppress the anger towards the spouse. Maybe the spouse behavior or the spouse not trustful or that. So they hated another female that is related to the husband. It can be in-law as well. So coming back to we are doing the research now. In our hospital, I have already collected the data about which side and then their social history. But I still need to contact them to ask exactly what is their stress. Some I have like divorce, all that. But I'm thinking the medical qigong in December, I can make a chart that they can fill up, and then we can get a very clear answer for that. And then at the same time, we can counsel them how to improve their health. You can improve your health by medical Qigong because medical Qigong can release all the trapped energy, but you still need to tackle your mind, which is to change the anger and resentment to forgiveness and loving, accepting other people's imperfection. Then only you can have remission. Usually when they start to be angry again, unloving again, they start to have disease relapse. I hope this session help you to understand yourself more and your body more. Huh? Oh, okay. I answer the prostate first because prostate is also very common. And it is related to that. Okay. So, prostate is actually due, BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, is due to testosterone imbalance. So what is the function of testosterone? Maleness, to exert the man's ego. So in life, if the person feels suppressed, that means they have a spouse who are more dominant than them. So they have to suppress their ego, their maleness, so that can cause hormonal imbalance. Because what you experience in your life is closely related to what you experience in your body. So your body starts to have dihydrotestosterone more than the testosterone. So then that causes hyperplasia. So how do you overcome that? Because those with baldness also you are at risk of BPH. Because they share the same root, emotional root. So how do you overcome that is you understand, give in and give love. In general, married men, you live longer. Okay? But married men, they feel like, I want to die faster. Especially when you are in midlife. Now when you are in midlife and we notice,
Haven't mastered the art of managing the wife yet.
so I share with you two simple scenarios that can make your life happier. Both you and your wife's life happier. Okay, there was this six-story building. Okay, they advertised it. You can come here to find your right partner. So they divide into north wing and south wing. So for men, you can come, you pay, and then you can find your perfect partner. For lady, also same. So this girl, there is a rule. You go up, you can only go up, but you cannot come down. Okay? So this lady, she paid and then she go up. The first floor, there's a signboard. In this floor, you can find a handsome man. She never think twice, she straight away go up to the second level. So in this floor, you can find handsome and then good earning husband. She climb up again. Another signboard. In this floor, you can find handsome and then good earning as well as romantic. She climb up again. Okay, handsome, good looking, handsome, and then good earning, romantic, and then can help you to do housework. That's the fourth floor already. So she climb up again, fifth floor. Handsome, can good earning, at the same time romantic, and can help you to do housework, and then good towards your parents, the in-law as well. So she think maybe enough, but heart still want to go up. So she climb up. To her horror, she see the signboard. There's no perfect person in this world. Perfect person is only found in fairy tales. Oh, so she has to come down. She paid, but she didn't get any partner. Whereas for the men, it's different. Men, most of them paid and then they happily go back with their perfect partner just from level 3 and level 2. Okay? You want to know level 1 and level 2 means what? Level 1 is good looking. Level 2 is good looking and then can do housework. Level 3, good looking, can do housework and then also take care of children. And then respect your in-laws. So men, they are very practical. They go to supermarket. They just take the item and then they go. But for female, we go to the market. Vegetables also we want to pick the most fresh vegetables. Correct. Each packet also we just want to get. So when we understand this, actually it is not who is right, who is wrong. Both of you are seeing the same situation from a different perspective. So when you understand this, then you can be more loving, you can be more understanding. Then there won't be a lot of different opinions, because most arguments start with different opinion. So you understand. Actually, when your wife met you, she wants your attention. So if she next you, you go behind and hug her. Automatically she stop. So you see that? I share with you, the first time like that, second time, third time, she become happier. She will make you less. I give you evidence because I give you evidence because I not only treat patients, sometimes I treat parents of doctors. So a lot of parents, after they retire, 24 hours they face each other. Even small issue also they can have different opinion. Then they can be very angry. So sometimes as a son or as a daughter, you find it difficult for you. You don't know who to side, isn't it? So sometimes I teach them this method. You just need to hug them, or you buy, or you just pour a cup of coffee or tea. They will shut down immediately because they nag you because they want your attention. But in general, man, you don't know. The more she nag you, the more you turn a deaf ear. The more you try to go out or you try to ignore her, then she get very upset because what she wants is your attention. She's not getting. Anger means the needs not met. Usually for men, what you want is the respect. But for ladies, what they want is your time, your attention, your love. Sometimes men you want sex only, but women you want cuddle, the hugging.
Break up some notes or write up whatever.
Yes.
I think this is something very interesting and very good for our practice as well.
Yes. I've shared with a lot of patients and they like it very much, and they write that now they understand why they have this pain, why this pain has been bothering them.
So can we get it somewhere? Are you going to write a book?
Yes. Okay. I will tell you the scenario. Okay, first is one of my housemen who was very brilliant. He died actually. He died at the age of 33 during his training in Singapore, lung CA. So then I met this oncology MO, Judith. So we discussed about how come this thing happened. Then we talk about emotions. This houseman, he's very brilliant and he's very outspoken. Sometimes if he feel that something is not right, he will just voice out, including his superior. So previously, I remember he actually commented one of the consultants who is very dedicated to her patient, but then she's almost perfectionist, but always scold people, scold the houseman, the MO, all that. So everybody is very scared working. Usually those who scold, they don't get disease, but the surrounding people who work with them, they get disease. And then his personality, you work in Singapore, you cannot voice out. You cannot voice out, so you suppress. And then what is the function of lung? Is to ventilate. So you don't ventilate your feeling, then the energy will be deposited in your lung, causing lung CA. So we discussed about this. Then she shared with me. She said she has a book that talks about all this. This book was actually written by a pastor. I'm a Buddhist. I still read the book. This pastor, a lot of patients go to him. They repent. Then in the room, then you
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about, you share all your feelings.
Confession.
Okay, and this pastor, he has a friend who is actually a doctor, physician. So he start with his observation and then he try to match. Like this disease got this social problem. This disease got this social problem. So when I read, I also read with a skeptical mind. But when I see the patient, I start to see whether this theory is correct or not. I would say the whole book, at least 75% of the concept in the book is quite right. But the book never tell you left, right. Left, right, I got it based on Yi Jing.
Okay.
But Yi Jing doesn't really, Yi Jing is the book that
Ancient
if you
text.
master Yi Jing, you master everything. In fact, you can predict all those disasters, all that.
Yeah.
And you can tell that China is going to be the economic giant because now the good stuff, the flying stuff go to the center and the east. So you see, now most of the important meetings held in Sabah Sarawak. Isn't it? A lot of Japan, Korea, they moved from the west to the east already. Even our World Congress also recently had it in Kyoto, Japan. So the trend is, if you master Yi Jing, you will master everything. And there was this psychiatrist Cao Yong. He actually read the translation copy and then he come out the book Synchronicity. Also very good. It is not, everything happen in life is not by chance. We are all connected by same frequency. This group, we all share the same passion to share, to heal, and then you are open-minded.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about sudden death?
Okay. Sudden death can happen when there is heart attack or acute arrhythmias or even acute bleed in the brain. So it's usually due to anger. Prior to that, the person experienced something that they cannot accept. They shut down. They're very, very angry. So like stroke also you have a degree of different stroke. Okay? So those who get bleed, usually they are bad temper people. They have outbursts of temper. So ruptured. Those who have ischemic stroke, they usually suppress their anger. I give you an example because I see stroke every day. So I will usually routinely ask them whether they got anger or not, but I don't ask directly like that. I usually ask them, how is your sleep prior to this? They will tell you they cannot sleep. Then after that you ask them, based on the site of stroke, right, already I know the stress is what. So let's say it's left-sided. Then I will ask, do you have stress at work? If money is not an issue, would you quit the job already? If right side one, I also don't ask them, do you have quarrel with your wife? No, or your husband. I usually ask, lately, is there any different opinion that you are very upset about? So I will get 3 responses. The first response, the patient straight away admitted, yes, I have something that I'm very angry, I'm very upset. This group, they get better very fast. The second group, they deny, but the relative say yes. The relative say, yes, he's very angry or something, even though he denied. Sometimes you deny because of ego. So this group still do better than the third group because now relative is more understanding. They know that they get the stroke is because of that. So they become less provocative, more understanding and more patient. The third group, both the patient and relative deny. This is a group that they never acknowledge the root. They get admitted again and again for recurrent stroke. So understanding of the disease is very important. I'm glad I can
Last
share.
Last question.
When are you going to write the book on things that you have told us today?
Yes, I share with Master some preliminary the journal. But I'm still working on it. Because sometimes interaction is easy. But it comes
Common sinus.
silence, okay. It's suppressed emotion. So you feel that a lot of time you didn't answer, but you suppress your emotion. So in general, whenever I look at the scan that shows hypertrophic terminal, you already can tell this person has suppressed emotion. But you can use master's technique and it works. It works tremendously.
How about kidney disease?
Okay, yes, okay, good. Kidney disease, okay, most kidney disease, they always feel that they are the burden of the other people. Okay, whether this is a cause or this is a sequelae, actually it is a root. Most of them, before they get kidney disease, they already got a lot of guilt feeling. Stroke is due to anger, kidney disease is due to guilt. So like BPH are also same, you know, BPH you have terminal dribbling, the urination is not, the flow is not smooth. It's actually you feel that your ego is jeopardized, you cannot exert your manhood. So kidney disease also related to the guilt feeling. So in other words, if you can improve you tell the patient to change, to accept themselves and don't blame themselves, then they don't get kidney disease. And then now I share with you autoimmune diseases. But it's a time. Okay. So SLE is is a multi-system. They form the antibody to attack all the organs. So in general, the patient they have this cell rejection. SLE they reject themselves. Usually they face some relationship issues because all connective tissue. What is connective tissue? It's to connect in your body. All the fibrous tissue, connective tissue is to connect. So in life, they have some strained relationship with their close one. Then they start to feel frustrated and then they don't like themselves. When you don't like yourself, your body starts to form antibody to attack yourself. So which organ you attack depends on what is the stress. So for SLE, they don't like themselves significantly. So that's why last time when I was houseman, I know there are a few group of people that you have to see them very fast. Heart attack, SLE is another one, and then kidney disease and pregnant patient. Because this group they can deteriorate fast. You have to handle them, you have to manage them fast. So like MG is usually due to overwork. So if they start to have eye symptoms, that means their job needs precise vision. Teachers, those sew clothes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And those dysphagia is they cannot swallow their pride. When you cannot swallow your ego, cannot swallow your pride, you can have dysphagia. So stroke after stroke or MG. Thank you.